And wherever you go, do people swarm over you and want your autograph? Do they recognize you wherever you go?
They do. The interesting thing is that most of them are still connecting from Partridge Family, which absolutely amazes me.
Yeah.
And as you know, that when you appear in people's living room, they feel a connection with you.
Right.
That's very intimate.
Especially if they catch you stealing something.
Susan Dey, the beloved actress from The Partridge Family, shocked fans by refusing to attend a highly anticipated reunion. What could have possibly kept her away from this eventful gathering? The truth lies in her complicated relationship with a co-star. In this video, we will uncover the hidden drama behind the scenes of this classic TV series and delve into the real reason Susan Dey chose to skip the reunion. Get ready to discover the untold story that will forever change your view of the Partridge Family. The main inspiration of the movie. The story of the Cowsills family band served as the inspiration behind the Partridge Family. In the Cowsills, the family dynamic was led by the mother, with 6 boys and 1 daughter making up the band. Their song, The Rain, the Park, and Other Things achieved notable success during the 1960s. Originally, Sony producers intended to cast the actual Cowsill family to portray the Partridges on television. This plan was met with enthusiasm from the Cowsills initially. However, tensions arose when the producers later decided to replace the mother figure with Shirley Jones. This change in casting direction caused dissatisfaction among the Cowsill family, who felt strongly about maintaining the authenticity of their family's representation. As a result, the Cowsills declined the opportunity, opting for an all-or-nothing stance in their participation in the project. Susan Dey after the Partridge Family. After departing from the Partridge Family, Susan Dey achieved notable success in Hollywood, transitioning into roles that showcased her acting prowess. One of her most prominent roles was on the television drama L.A. Law, where she portrayed Grace Van Owen. Her performance garnered critical acclaim, earning her awards such as an Emmy and a Golden Globe. These accolades solidified her reputation as a talented actress in the industry. However, despite her professional accomplishments, Susan Dey faced significant personal challenges, particularly with body image. The rapid rise to fame and scrutiny in the Hollywood spotlight took a toll on her, leading to struggles with maintaining a healthy self-image. Dey's battle with body image issues escalated into unhealthy dieting habits, which ultimately impacted her well-being and personal life. Susan Dey's career in show business concluded in 2004, marking the end of an era for her on-screen appearances. Despite stepping away from acting, her contributions to television and her impact on audiences remain significant, highlighting her enduring legacy in the entertainment industry. Shirley Jones. Born in Charleroi, Pennsylvania, in 1934, Shirley Jones embarked on her acting journey at a young age, showing early promise on both stage and screen. Despite her talent, she made a pivotal decision to decline the role of Carol Brady in The Brady Bunch, a choice that would later steer her toward an iconic role in television history. In 1970, Shirley Jones took on the role of Shirley Partridge in The Partridge Family, a series that would define a generation. Her portrayal as the matriarch of a musical family resonated deeply with audiences, catapulting her into stardom. However, like many actors who achieved such widespread fame, Jones encountered challenges in navigating her career post-Partridge Family. Despite these obstacles, her enduring talent and dedication to her craft ensured that she swiftly regained public attention. Jones's post-Partridge career has been marked by accolades and recognition for her diverse roles in both film and theater. Her performances have garnered numerous nominations and awards, celebrating her versatility and enduring impact on entertainment. Beyond her acting prowess, Shirley Jones has been an ardent advocate for animal rights, actively supporting PETA and raising awareness about animal welfare issues. Today, Shirley Jones continues to grace the stage, captivating audiences with her presence and artistry in theater productions. Her legacy as an actress and activist remains indelible, inspiring generations with her talent, resilience, and commitment to the causes she holds dear. Shirley turned down a role. Shirley Jones was first approached to play the role of Carol Brady, the mother, on The Brady Bunch. Despite loving the script and recognizing the significance of Carol Brady potentially becoming TV's first working mother, Jones declined the role. She explained that she didn't want to portray a character whose role was limited to domestic tasks, like taking the roast out of the oven without much else to do. Later, Shirley Jones decided to accept the role of Shirley Partridge in the Partridge Family for two main reasons. Firstly, the opportunity allowed her to balance her career with being a nearly full-time mother, enabling her to raise her children while working. This aspect of the role appealed to her desire to maintain a family-centered life while pursuing her acting career. Shirley and Kate were related. In real life, the cast members of The Partridge Family shared not only on-screen relationships, but also deep personal connections. Shirley Jones, who portrayed Shirley Partridge, had a special familial bond with David Cassidy, who played her son Keith Partridge on the show. Their real-life connection extended beyond their roles. Following Shirley Jones's divorce from David Cassidy's father, Jack Cassidy, in 1974, they maintained a close-knit family dynamic. Throughout the years, Shirley made a concerted effort to stay involved in David's life, offering support and guidance despite the challenges he encountered. However, in the period leading up to David Cassidy's passing, there appeared to be some distance between them. Despite their earlier closeness, reports indicated that their relationship had become somewhat strained. Nonetheless, their enduring familial bond remained a significant aspect of their lives, both on and off the screen. Divorce. Did you know Shirley Jones's presence on the show led to her divorce? Shirley Jones and Jack Cassidy were married from 1956 to 1974, but their relationship took an unexpected turn when Shirley's career soared with her role in The Partridge Family. Jack, struggling with alcoholism and jealousy, became increasingly envious of Shirley's success. This led to strains in their marriage, with Jack's insecurities driving him to engage in infidelity. Shirley later reflected on how Jack's deep-seated feelings of inferiority in the face of her accomplishments exacerbated their marital difficulties, leading to more frequent instances of unfaithfulness. David Cassidy, their son, later opened up about his father's battles with alcoholism and anger management. These issues compounded Jack's erratic behavior, which ultimately contributed to the dissolution of their marriage. The challenges within their relationship underscored the personal struggles Jack faced amidst Shirley's rising fame and success in show business. Dave Madden. Dave Madden, born in Canada in 1931, was brought up by his aunt and uncle in Indiana from a young age. Despite joining the U.S. Air Force early in his life, Madden always harbored a deep love for comedy and performing. After completing his service in the Air Force, he made appearances in various comedic series, including memorable roles on Camp Runamuck and The Ed Sullivan Show. Madden's career saw a significant peak when he took on the role of Reuben Kincaid, the manager and agent of the Partridge Family Band. His portrayal of the gruff but lovable manager endeared him to audiences and added to the show's charm. After the conclusion of The Partridge Family, Madden continued to make occasional appearances in small TV roles. Beyond his acting career, Madden had a passion for photography, which he cultivated into a beloved hobby. In 2014, at the age of 82, Dave Madden passed away while under hospice care. leaving behind a legacy cherished by fans of his comedic talent and memorable character portrayals. David Cassidy. Born in New York City in 1950, David Cassidy was born into a family deeply rooted in the entertainment industry, with both parents, Jack Cassidy and Evelyn Ward, being accomplished actors themselves. From an early age, Cassidy showed a keen interest in acting, beginning his pursuit of a career in his teenage years. By the late 1960s, he started gaining traction with roles in various TV series, albeit mostly modest ones. However, it was Cassidy's pivotal role as Keith Partridge in The Partridge Family that catapulted him to stardom. The series not only showcased his acting talents, but also highlighted his musical abilities, which contributed significantly to the show's popularity. Cassidy's good looks and charismatic presence on screen quickly made him a teenage heartthrob in the 1970s, garnering widespread acclaim and adoration. Beyond his television success, David Cassidy also found acclaim as a musician during the 1970s and 1980s. His musical career saw him achieve chart-topping success and perform to adoring fans around the world. Despite his professional achievements, Cassidy faced personal challenges, including struggles with drug use and severe alcoholism later in life. These issues strained his relationships and led to periods of isolation from loved ones. Tragically, David Cassidy passed away in 2017 at the age of 67 due to complications from liver failure, leaving behind a legacy as both a television icon and a music sensation who left an indelible mark on popular culture. David Cassidy was underpaid. Despite the immense profits Sony earned from the highly popular program, the cast members were significantly underpaid. David Cassidy, who served as the show's primary musical performer, initially received a meager weekly salary of just $600. This amount paled in comparison to the production costs, which exceeded this figure by more than tenfold each week. However, it later came to light that David had signed the initial contract while still underage. This circumstance entitled him to renegotiate the terms of his agreement. As a result of renegotiation, his weekly salary was adjusted to a more equitable and appropriate level. Brian Forster. Brian Forster played the role of Chris Partridge on the show. Originally, Jeremy Gell was cast for the role before being replaced in 1971. Forster came from an illustrious family background, being the step-grandson of the renowned British actor Alan Napier and the son of British cinema star Peter Forster. Interestingly, he is also the great-great-great-grandson of the acclaimed novelist Charles Dickens. After his time on The Partridge Family, Forster chose not to pursue further acting roles. Instead, he ventured into different careers. He became a professional race car driver based in North Carolina, indulging his passion for speed and competition. Additionally, he found work as a stunt driver, showcasing his skills behind the wheel in various productions. These career choices allowed Forster to explore new avenues beyond the world of entertainment, highlighting his diverse talents and interests. Chris Partridge was replaced. Jeremy Gell was pressured into acting by his parents, but after a year, he found himself at odds with his producers and co-stars. This strained relationship led the producers to decide to replace him, which they believed would benefit the show. Interestingly, when Brian Forster took over the role of Chris Partridge for the remaining 3 years of the show's run, the switch went completely unnoticed by viewers. Surprisingly, the studio received no complaints or feedback about the change. Both Gell and Forster later reunited for the Partridge Family Reunion TV special, where they reflected on their time on the show and shared their perspectives on portraying Chris Partridge. Their appearances provided insight into the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the series and offered a glimpse into how the show evolved over its run. Suzanne Crough, Tracy Partridge, the youngest character in the Partridge Family, was acted by Suzanne Crough. She was responsible for playing the tambourine in the family band. This was Crough's first acting gig when she was just 9 years old. Once the show concluded, she took on some smaller acting roles before deciding to step away from show business and pursue a more ordinary lifestyle. Crough managed her bookstore for some time and eventually chose to reside in Nevada with her 2 children after getting married in 2015. Regrettably, Suzanne Crough died unexpectedly from a genetic heart condition. In a touching tribute, Danny Bonaduce expressed, "Many believed I would be the first Partridge to pass away. Sadly, it was young Tracy. Suzanne was honored as a kind individual and a dedicated parent. Her death brought sadness to her colleagues and followers, who fondly remembered her role on the popular show and her kindness behind the scenes." The dark side of fame. David Cassidy's rapid rise to stardom was far from smooth sailing. His initial contract lacked provisions to protect his name and likeness, leaving him vulnerable to exploitation by businesses eager to capitalize on his burgeoning fame. Merchandise like lunchboxes and posters featuring Cassidy's image proliferated without his consent or financial compensation, highlighting the lack of control he had over his public persona. As Cassidy became a teenage heartthrob during the emergence of teen idol culture, his fame brought with it a whirlwind of chaos and unpredictability. Admirers would break into his car, sometimes sleeping inside it upon his return home. Incidents of fans entering his residence uninvited, including encounters with nude individuals, added to the invasive nature of his celebrity. Navigating this challenging environment took a toll on the young star, who found himself constantly on guard against the excesses and dangers of his newfound celebrity status. The challenges of managing his safety and privacy amidst intense public adoration underscored the darker side of fame that Cassidy confronted during this unsettling period of his life. The spark between Dey and Cassidy. During the show, Susan Dey, who played Laurie, the second oldest child, developed strong romantic feelings for her co-star, David Cassidy. Cassidy himself later admitted that he was aware of Dey's long-standing attraction to him, but decided to wait until the program's finale in 1974 before reciprocating those feelings. Following the conclusion of The Partridge Family, they began a romantic relationship. Sadly, their time together was brief, and their romance came to an end. In later years, David Cassidy wrote about their relationship in his autobiography, revealing more intimate details than Susan Dey was comfortable with. This disclosure strained their relationship, leading to a permanent rift between them. They ceased all communication thereafter. Ricky Stevens. The creators of The Partridge Family introduced the character of Ricky Stevens during a period when the show's ratings started to drop. Ricky, portrayed as an adorable 4-year-old, was brought in with the hope of revitalizing viewership, possibly drawing on the popularity enjoyed by the Jackson 5 during that era. Originally, the producers intended to include a young African-American child in the cast, but they ultimately changed course and opted to cast a small Caucasian child for the role of Ricky Stevens instead. Cassidy unforgettable moment. David Cassidy's musical career received a significant boost from his role in The Partridge Family, and after the show ended, his popularity soared. In 1974, tragedy struck during a performance at London's White City Stadium when a crowd surged towards the stage, resulting in injuries to nearly 800 people, with 30 requiring hospitalization. Among those hospitalized was 14-year-old Bernadette Whelan, who tragically passed away 4 days later from a cardiac attack. Her underlying heart condition was exacerbated by the stress of the incident. When questioned about the girl's death later on, Cassidy expressed that it would haunt him for the rest of his life. Danny Bonaduce. Danny Bonaduce played Danny Partridge, the red-haired middle child and bassist in the Partridge Family band. His journey began on the show at just 11 years old, where his acting skills earned him the prestigious Child Actor Lifetime Achievement Award. Transitioning from child stardom, Bonaduce found success in radio, becoming the host of The Danny Bonaduce Show and other well-received radio programs. Beyond radio, he ventured into professional wrestling, making a notable appearance in Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling. Alongside his radio commitments, Bonaduce remained active in charity wrestling matches, showcasing his versatility and dedication to entertainment and philanthropy. Danny Bonaduce, born on August 13, 1959 in Broomall, Pennsylvania, emerged into the public eye at a young age due to his role as Danny Partridge in The Partridge Family. Raised in a challenging environment marked by family turmoil, Danny's early years were far from ordinary. His on-screen persona as the witty and mischievous middle child of the Partridge Family mirrored some aspects of his real-life upbringing. Danny Bonaduce's messy upbringing set the stage for a troubled childhood. Described by Shirley Jones, who portrayed his on-screen mother and later became his real-life guardian, Danny was known as a wild child from a young age, coming from an unhappy home environment. His rebellious behavior started early, with instances like smoking at the tender age of 11, highlighting his precocious defiance. Growing up in the spotlight only intensified his turbulent upbringing, casting a shadow over his family life. Despite his early fame and success on screen, Danny's chaotic conduct persisted into adulthood, shaping his personal struggles and public image. The house. The iconic Partridge Family house, recognizable to many, served as a versatile set across multiple television shows from the 1960s and 1970s. Viewers of Bewitched, Dennis the Menace, I Dream of Jeannie, and The Donna Reed Show often noted its repeated appearances, showcasing its adaptability in various fictional neighborhoods. Further cementing its place in TV history, the same set featured prominently in the film Pleasantville, starring Reese Witherspoon. Interestingly, during the Partridge Family's first season, they introduced a beloved canine companion named Simone. However, Simone mysteriously vanished from the show as subsequent seasons aired, leaving fans to speculate about the reasons behind the dog's disappearance. The reunion. Since the Partridge Family ended, Susan Dey has refrained from attending cast reunions, reportedly due to unresolved romantic tensions with David Cassidy. It remains unclear whether they reconciled before Cassidy's passing in 2017, but many speculate it did not happen. Shirley Jones, who portrayed Shirley Partridge, commented on their relationship, noting that she and David had drifted apart over the years and were no longer in contact, which saddened David deeply. Shirley also expressed disappointment that Susan consistently declines invitations to participate in TV reunions for the Partridge Family. This absence has been noted by fans and cast members alike, impacting the dynamics of these gatherings over the years. Spin-off. After a relatively short television run, the Partridge Family was discontinued due to poor ratings. Despite this, its enduring popularity prompted the creation of an animated spin-off titled Partridge Family 2200 AD. Notably, David Cassidy and Shirley Jones opted not to participate in the project, choosing instead to pursue other endeavors. However, Danny Bonaduce and Susan Dey did contribute limited voice roles to the animated series. This spin-off was seen as an attempt to extend the franchise's appeal, although ultimately it proved challenging to capture the magic of the original live-action show. Guest appearances. The Partridge Family boasted a roster of notable guest stars across its four-season run. Among them were luminaries such as Farrah Fawcett, Johnny Cash, who appeared in the pilot episode, Jodie Foster, Jaclyn Smith, Cheryl Ladd, and Mark Hamill, among others. Given the show's comparatively brief span of 4 years, the substantial number of guest appearances underscored its broad appeal and cultural impact during its heyday. These guest stars added to the show's allure and reflected its popularity among audiences of the time. Topping charts. The music produced for The Partridge Family unexpectedly became a phenomenon, driven by their hit song, I Think I Love You, which achieved remarkable success on charts worldwide. The song soared to the top, eclipsing even the Beatles' Let It Be at the time, highlighting the show's immense popularity and cultural impact. I Think I Love You, featured on the 1970 album, The Partridge Family album, captured the hearts of listeners with its catchy melody and David Cassidy's charismatic vocals. Its chart-topping success not only solidified the show's musical prowess, but also cemented its place in music history, showcasing how a TV series could transcend entertainment to become a global musical sensation. The unexpected acclaim of I Think I Love You and other tracks from the show's musical repertoire underscored the appeal of The Partridge Family beyond its television narrative, resonating deeply with audiences and leaving an enduring legacy in pop culture. Bad vocals. Shirley Jones openly voiced her dissatisfaction with her co-stars' singing abilities on the show, asserting that, in her view, only David Cassidy possessed sufficient talent. Her candid critiques sparked debate among fans and critics, who deliberated over the musical performances of the entire cast of The Partridge Family. Jones's perspective, shaped by her own extensive experience in music and entertainment, added a layer of complexity to discussions surrounding the show's musical authenticity and the portrayal of the Partridge Family Band. The iconic bus. The Partridge Family bus, a 1957 Chevrolet 6800 Superior, became an iconic symbol of the show. In the pilot episode, the family stumbles upon the bus at a car dealership and decides to give it the now iconic paint job that fans recognize. Behind the scenes, Screen Gems TV Studio acquired the bus for a mere $500 from the Orange County School District. After the series concluded, the fate of the bus took a less glamorous turn. It ended up parked behind a taco shop on Martin Luther King Boulevard, where years of neglect eventually rendered it unfit for use. Sadly, the bus was decommissioned and eventually taken to a junkyard, marking the end of its storied journey as a beloved television icon. Only Shirley would have sang. Originally, the plan for The Partridge Family was for Shirley Jones to be the sole singer. However, everything changed when the producers listened to David Cassidy's demo. Impressed by his exceptional voice, they decided to include him in the musical performances alongside Shirley Jones. This pivotal decision not only marked the beginning of David Cassidy's musical career, but also propelled him into stardom. After the show concluded, Cassidy's singing career flourished. He became widely recognized for his musical talents, and the producer's foresight in including him in the musical aspect of the show was proven to be a wise choice. David Cassidy himself expressed gratitude for the opportunity and acknowledged how it significantly contributed to his later success in the music industry. David Cassidy quit the show. By the end of the 4th season of The Partridge Family, David Cassidy made it clear that he wanted to prioritize his music career, signaling a pivotal moment for the show. In response to his decision, the producers searched for someone to fill his charismatic and heartthrob role. They found Rick Springfield, a talented musician, to potentially take over Cassidy's place in the series. However, despite their efforts, The Partridge Family did not get renewed for a 5th season. This outcome left fans disappointed and solidified David Cassidy's irreplaceable status in the hearts of many viewers. His portrayal of Keith Partridge and his musical contributions to the show had made a lasting impact, making him a beloved figure in television history. Just a fiction, fans frequently blurred the lines between the fictional elements of the show, including the musical talents of its characters and reality. Despite the portrayal of all Partridge Family members as musicians on screen, in actuality, only David Cassidy could play an instrument in the cast. This fact underscores the artistic liberties taken by television productions to create compelling narratives, often leading to misconceptions among viewers about the actual abilities of the actors involved. Why she was so slim, Susan Dey's rapid ascent to fame in Hollywood placed intense pressure on her, particularly regarding her body image. The scrutiny and demands of the entertainment industry exacerbated her vulnerabilities, leading to the development of unhealthy eating habits. Dey's struggles with anorexia became apparent when her co-star, Danny Bonaduce, remarked on her weight, a moment that brought her challenges into sharper focus. Danny Bonaduce's dyslexia. Young Danny Bonaduce encountered difficulties learning his lines during his time on The Partridge Family due to dyslexia, a learning disorder that affects reading and comprehension. Despite this challenge, Danny's exceptional photographic memory proved invaluable in helping him recall his lines more effectively than traditional methods would allow. However, Danny's tendency to correct his co-star's lines, stemming from his accurate memory, occasionally created tensions on the set. While his corrections were intended to maintain the accuracy of the scenes, they sometimes led to misunderstandings or disagreements among the cast members. Nevertheless, his ability to memorize scripts accurately demonstrated his dedication to his role as Danny Partridge. The real David Cassidy's voice. David Cassidy's singing voice in The Partridge Family underwent studio adjustments to enhance its appeal to audiences of that era, despite his natural vocal talent. During the production of the show, Cassidy's voice was modified in the studio to align with the prevailing preference for higher-pitched voices in popular music at the time. This alteration aimed to ensure that Cassidy's vocal performances resonated more effectively with the audience, fitting the stylistic trends of the period. Still remembered for on-screen character. Shirley Jones has spoken candidly about the challenges fame brought, particularly how the public found it difficult to distinguish between the Partridge Family characters and the real actors portraying them. This confusion had profound implications for Jones personally and professionally. It contributed significantly to the breakdown of her 20-year marriage with Jack Cassidy, as the lines between her on-screen persona and real-life self became blurred in the public eye. Additionally, the misconception that Jones was David Cassidy's real mother rather than his stepmother led to misunderstandings and tensions with Cassidy's biological mother, Evelyn Ward. These misunderstandings added to the complexities of Jones's personal life, highlighting the intrusive nature of fame and its impact on relationships beyond the screen. Cassidy challenges. David Cassidy's early fame catapulted him into an unsettling personal journey fraught with numerous challenges. His rapid rise to stardom as a teen heartthrob with The Partridge Family brought immense pressure and scrutiny, which David struggled to navigate. Despite his initial success, Cassidy faced a series of personal and legal troubles throughout his life. His financial struggles were significant, marked by multiple bankruptcies and mounting debt that totaled in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. David's personal life was equally sad, marred by 3 divorces that underscored the strains of celebrity on his relationships. One of the most profound issues he battled was alcoholism, which plagued him from a young age. His struggles with alcohol led to severe health complications, including liver and kidney failure, ultimately contributing to his untimely death in 2000 at the age of 67. Let's look at the reason Dey doesn't attend reunions. The reason Dey doesn't show up in reunions. Despite the conclusion of The Partridge Family, unresolved tensions persisted among the cast members. David Cassidy, who remained close to many of his co-stars, including Danny Bonaduce, maintained friendships throughout his life. However, Susan Dey chose to distance herself from the show and declined opportunities to participate in reunions. This decision may have been influenced by personal disclosures made by Cassidy in his autobiography, which reportedly strained their relationship. With David Cassidy's passing, the dynamics surrounding potential future reunions have shifted. It remains uncertain whether Susan Dey will reconsider her stance now that Cassidy is no longer present. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.